Nobody on the Navy SEAL training floor expected the captain to shout something so harsh, especially at the one woman who had already fought twice as hard as everyone to stand where she stood. The room froze. Recruits stopped breathing. In that silent second, every eye watched her. And in the 2 seconds that followed, she showed the world what real strength looks like. Not strength of the fist, strength of the heart. What she did next didn't just silence the men around her. It changed the course of her entire career and theirs. When Lieutenant Riley Carter, one of the toughest and most dedicated trainees in the Navy SEAL program, walked into the training hall that morning, she had no idea the day would test more than her skill. It would test her soul. She had already endured months of grueling drills, sleepless nights, freezing ocean sessions, and whispered doubts from those who believed women didn't belong in the program. She ignored all of it. She wasn't here to prove them wrong. She was here to prove herself right. But that morning felt different. Captain Donovan, a man known for challenging recruits at the breaking point, called a sparring demonstration. The recruits formed a circle as he brought forward Sergeant Hale, a strong, confident male trainee who had a habit of underestimating Riley. "Today," the captain said, his voice echoing across the mats, "we test not strength, but character." Riley stepped forward without hesitation. She tied her wraps calmly, her eyes steady, her posture grounded in quiet confidence. Hale cracked his knuckles as if he was walking into an easy match. "Begin," the captain ordered. They circled each other, the air thick with tension. Hale swung first, not recklessly, but with the power of a trained fighter. Riley blocked, redirected, moved with precision born from discipline rather than aggression. Minutes passed. Riley's breathing remained calm, but Hale grew frustrated. He wasn't landing anything. "Use your training, Hale!" the captain barked. "Stop treating her like she's fragile!" Hale tried again, harder, faster. Riley matched him with technique, not force. The watching recruits shifted nervously. No one wanted to say it aloud, but everyone felt it. She was better. And then it happened. A moment of hesitation. Hale stepped back, overwhelmed by her speed. And the captain snapped. "Punch her in the jaw." The hall fell silent as the words bounced off the walls. Hale froze. Riley didn't even blink, but something in her chest tightened. She had expected challenges. She hadn't expected that. But then in that strange silence, something else happened. Riley straightened her posture, wiped sweat from her brow, and stared directly at Hale. Not with fear, not with anger, but with a calm that shook him more than any punch ever could. "If you think strength is about hitting harder," she said quietly, "you've already lost." The words stunned everyone. Even the captain's eyes narrowed, curious. She stepped forward again, ready, steady, unshaken. What happened in the next 2 seconds would be remembered by every person in that room. Hale stepped back in, trying to follow the captain's command, but Riley saw the hesitation in his eyes. He didn't want to hit her. Not because she was a woman, but because something inside him recognized the truth in her words. But Riley didn't wait for him to decide. With perfect SEAL-trained timing, she moved, not to hurt him, but to teach him. In a single fluid motion, she redirected his stance, used his own momentum to bring him off balance, and executed a swift, controlled takedown. No aggression, no unnecessary force, just pure skill. Hale hit the mat, not hard, not painfully, but decisively. The room erupted into stunned whispers. Riley stepped back, breathing steady, offering Hale a hand up. He stared at her for a moment, shocked, then accepted the hand. She pulled him to his feet with the same calm strength she had shown throughout the match. Captain Donovan stepped forward. "Carter," he said slowly, "do you know why I gave that order?" She shook her head. "No, sir. Because this program crushes egos. It reveals who fights with anger and who fights with purpose. You proved today that real SEALs don't follow orders blindly. They act with integrity." The recruits looked at her differently now. Not as someone to underestimate, but as someone to respect. Hale stood beside her, not embarrassed, but humbled. She didn't hit harder. Hale admitted to the captain. She fought smarter. Riley didn't smile. She didn't need to. Her eyes spoke the truth she had held inside her for years. Strength is not about overpowering others, it's about mastering yourself. And the captain nodded, his voice carrying across the hall. This is what a real Navy SEAL looks like. From that day forward, Riley's story spread across the base. Not as a tale of a woman defeating a man, but as a story of heart overpowering ego, discipline overpowering brute strength, and purpose overcoming doubt. It became a reminder to every trainee: a true warrior doesn't fight to prove others wrong. A true warrior fights to prove themselves right. And in those 2 unforgettable seconds, Riley Carter proved exactly that.